are going to do a little bit of glute work with some legs and also our core. So first of all, I just want to warm up into the core. We're going to go into our 4-point kneeling position. We're going to bring our legs back just a smidge, and all we're thinking about here is keeping that space between the knees, and we're thinking about pulling up our belly button in towards our spine. So, and then inhale, release, pulling that belly button up into that spine, keeping engaged through that core, and then inhale, release. So as we exhale, pulling it up, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, release. Exhale, holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This may seem very simple, but all we're doing is trying to activate our core here and then learning to engage to bring our belly button up towards our spine. So thinking about pulling it up, even pulling up through that pelvic floor. So closing both passages, pulling up, bring that core in nice and engaged, holding for 5, then inhale, release. So you're going to do that for about a minute or until you can really master bringing that core in nice and tight. So about 2 minutes, have a play around a bit. Our next exercise, we're going to go into a bit more of our legs. So you'll only do that exercise once. The other ones, you will be doing them for 45 seconds each. What I want you to do is placing your band. You are going to focus first on your squat, so you want your toes out to 45 degrees slightly, and you're thinking about your knees traveling out as well, while keeping tension on that band. Hands can do whatever. I personally like to have them in front of me, and we're aiming for our good depth. Then I just want you to add a little 1/4 squat, then drive yourself back up. Aiming for good depth, a little quarter or a pulse, then drive back up. If you have a shorter booty band, it might be a bit easier than this one to keep up. Otherwise, you might have to bring your legs in a little bit wider just to keep that tension on that band. So what we're doing, squatting, 1/4, bring yourself up for 45 seconds. Our next exercise, what we'll be doing, back to our core, we're going to go into our bear hold. So we're going to, in our 4-point kneeling position, bringing your legs back just a tiny bit. We're going to tuck up on the toes, sorry you can't see my feet. We're going to tuck up on the toes, hover those knees, and then if you'd like to add a bit more challenge, we're going to raise one arm up at a time, trying to keep those shoulder blades down and that core nice and engaged. Hence why we were trying to practice bringing that core in nice and engaged in our first exercise. Otherwise, if that's too much, just holding up here for 5, then inhale, release. Exhale, holding for 5, inhale, release. Otherwise, you're adding in your arms, trying to keep your hips nice and square with the mat and not rocking your hips side to side. Our last little exercise, what you will be doing is lying down onto your mats. Hopefully it doesn't get my head. Lying down on your mat, your feet not too close to your bum, but not too far away. So in the middle where they're comfortable, hip width apart. I want you to cross one leg over, flopping that knee to the side. We want our shoulders nice and flat down onto the mat. And what we're doing is focusing and pushing up evenly through the foot, squeezing the glute at the top, then bring your back down. Exhale, rise up, squeezing the glute, inhale, back down. If that's too hard, you can place this foot down and just in a staggered position, so slightly a little bit longer, here, foot up, and we're driving up, trying not to use this leg, but it's just there for support, bring yourself back down. So you will do this one for 45 seconds, each side, and then you'll swap to the other side, either by popping that leg back onto the knee, driving up, or in a staggered position, driving up, squeezing the glute. So that is our core and little leg exercises for that little round, and you'll do 45 seconds of each exercise apart from the start. You'll just do that for a minute until you feel nice and engaged through your core.